I do apologize. Got caught up in some other things, and so I'm here now. I really apologize about being late. My bad. Uh, so I don't really have too much to go over or prepared. If you have questions, great. Uh, but I'm mainly focused on getting together, getting organized for the gathering, and so on. I've been working on the website for Jesus Christ Trust. Not much has changed, but it takes a while to get it going. Has anybody sorry? Has anyone watched spot gold prices recently? Uh, Pretty incredible. Uh, let's take a look at that because I've been saying for a couple of years now that that's the best way to go. So let's see what it's been doing. 30, I mean 34, 33.14 or 34.24. Let's see. So I've been saying for about, I don't know, when did I do it? In 2016, right? What is it? That's like 10 years ago or whatever. I've been saying get gold. But really, mainly with this meltdown coming in the real estate, I've been saying get gold. Like, don't get real estate, get gold. And what has gold done in that amount of time? Let's see. So in 3 years, it's up. Say from 428.22. I was like, hey, we're getting the EIDL COVID money. I was like, get gold. And it was, can that be right? That's incredible. $1,900. It was $1,900 then, and now it's 31.42. So I can't see gold really coming down too much. There might be see, because what happens when it's like, oh, there's a war, there's currency risk, there's you know big problems, then people are concerned about currency, right? Oh, the yuan, the dollar, the this, the that, the stories go around. And so, what's a hedge beyond all that? A minted coin from a government that's trustworthy that uh, you know, is going to have gold, actual, 100% gold coins like the U.S. minted gold buffalo. So, they keep inflating the money supply, so to speak. I read, how's Doge doing today after, you know, they did all the great cuts and they've done all the great things. How much is government spending? Come down. It's not down. That's how much it's come down. It's not down. It's up. So this is a way for them to get to be able to, like, we tried our best, man. Them judges, them Democrats, or else we would have definitely cut some spending and done some things. You know what I'm saying? Is that plus commission? That's spot gold is just a general price on the market, like global market price. Basically, spot gold is this. So when you buy a U.S. minted coin, like from APMEX, APMEX, that's a gigantic coin and metals selling website. I bought from them before the coins show up. Um, so there's an extra fee above spot gold price for your U.S. minted gold buffalo. If you go look at the U.S. mint, it's almost double. But if you look on like a reseller for it's pretty close to spot gold. So you've checked them out. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So I'm just saying, like, you know, keeps going up. They keep printing more dollars. And you got to have a plan just in case, I'm not saying get all gold coins or anything like that. Dollar bills are fine. A bank account is fine for most of everything in a trust. But, real estate is definitely iffy if you're not in it, living there because you know the place. And even then, uh, it's usually just such a huge percentage of an individual's wealth. And then if an area turns into a problem outside of our control and all your wealth is stacked there and they can't move it, you got Florida, you got Florida dead. uh oh, it's beautiful, what, a hurricane, so I'm just saying, like, that comes and goes with the wind, whereas over time, gold really it's a function of how many dollars they print. Basically, that's how much gold is worth. So it's always worth more. They're always printing more dollars. So it helps with a hedge against inflation. And they're devaluing the currency is gold. Whereas real estate is just so, location, and location driven, which is all great if the location is great, but not so good if the location changes for some reason, that it's good, you know? Let's say Doge does get to fire a whole bunch of people in DC. That would mean that your house in DC went down in value. If you fired a million people in the DC area, it's like, whoop, uh-oh. That was the only people, that was making any money they could get a mortgage. So, you know, they're making it seem like that might happen, but you never know what they're going to be up to. So that's just one aspect that I was, showing over time, and not that much time. If you go look at the decades at that gold chart, like, in 1970 when it all began, the loop began, it was $35. Then in 1989, it's 410. You know, and in 2022, it's 1900. So you can see the progress of gold over time. I say that gold might not be going up super much in value over the next 5 years. It's going to go up, definitely, because currency is just going to get worse because they're going to print more dollars because of the interest on what they owe. They're just going to have to print more dollars to pay the interest everywhere. So there's going to be a huge amount of inflation, but minorly offsetting that is they're going to drill everywhere in every country. There's only 8 years left, so they're just going to take everything out of the ground, cut all the trees, fish all the fish, kill all the animals. We need to get into them national parks and, what do they call it out west? I forget what that land is. But, all the land that's been set aside for the end, like, hey, budgets are tight. We got to pay this debt. Sorry, everybody. We're going to have to go into all this wilderness and start using it. uh, Minerals are scarce. Uh-oh, dig them up. So one of them is going to be gold, is all I'm saying. They haven't pulled all the gold out of the ground anywhere. Give me a break. Certain locations they've pulled a lot for sure, but now they're going to do it in earnest. Burkina Faso is an interesting landlocked Africa state that if you look into it, they have a massive, not massive, I would say pretty, they have, let me put it another way. They have a clever, like very CCP and NSA sort of, like, they have their own channel that they put out. They they were overthrown by a military junta that has like a PR marketing wing and is, trying to change the country for the better and all this stuff. And they literally, in the last week or something like that, they took back all individual ownership of the country. No one can own land except for the nation. So all the corporations that have invested in Burkina Faso, they don't own the land or anything. They just like seized all the land of the whole country, including private citizens. So they're gonna dig gold. That's we're gonna dig gold. We got gold. So I'm just saying, use that as an example. And they just found 50 billion gallons of oil in Burkina Faso. So what I'm saying is they're going to start finding things in different places and start to use them up. So that will only minorly offset, the rise in gold because they know they're doing this. And so they're like, well, just print more dollars against the gold and stuff. So it's not going to be enough to drive down gold prices, but you're going to see it happen. How to make wealth off of they own everything, so they're just going to go. Let's go get it out of the ground or off the top of the land or whatever we have to do. They're just going to go do it. So if you can see a way to manage money based on that or manage what you're going to do with your time to make some money or whatever, that's a good starting place. Uh, Sorry about being late today. I really got caught up in a bunch of stuff. So, um, did you notice I put out a video a couple days ago about IMX Blue Business Plus? I put out a short where I got automatically upgraded. The credit limit increased to 44,000 to John McCaig Trust. It went up not that long ago, and that went up again. So I'm not spending more money on that card. I am spending money. That's my main card for business expenses, including which is my biggest expense by far in my life is paying Facebook and Google and paid advertising. So I consistently put a bunch of money on that card for paid advertising. And so every couple of months they do, and that I'm doing all the work on the credit report that you've seen and I show you how to do. That just stays out there, and so my spend goes whatever it continues. So it's not even my spend going up on a credit card. It's more like longevity of, and it's not that long, but the good credit report is out there. Hey, that's great, and the spend continues. Great, has a multiplier effect like on those two things, and they just do automatic credit limit increases. I would never ask for a credit limit increase above 25,000 for any credit card because it might trigger them to be like, okay, well, you say you make this much money, let's see the money. So getting that higher credit limits is actually super difficult in a way because you're not asking. You see, not that you would get a hard pull from asking for American Express, but you could get them to ask, oh, okay, show us the paperwork. I've had that happen from a newer business credit card without the good credit profile that I built up for the business credit report. I've had Amex be like, you show us some money, show us so. I've had them write that back. When I've done it for like a card that I didn't build a credit report for business credit report, I was like, okay, it started. Let me see what I can get, and I got hit with that. Okay, never mind. So uh, it happened to a personal one too. I was like, hey, can you give me 25? And they, oh. So I rather on Amex focus on build out great credit report and having them do it automatically is pretty incredible. How well it's functioning. Not that I need $44,000 in credit on one credit card for marketing, but you know the drill. You're always trying to raise credit limits across all your credit cards, and then if you got to cash in, buy some gold buffaloes at Amex, you're good to go. Uh, okay, so that's an important ongoing 44,000 credit limit. That's crazy high. So anyway, I just posted that a couple days ago, and that's what that was. John McCaig Trust and the combination with the business credit report that's been built. So pretty incredible how well it's working. Okay, I'm working on Jesus Christ Trust because the Poe family successfully getting rid of their real estate taxes. So some of the things that I'm going to update on that are being able to get a minister certification, a marriage certificate, baptismal certificate, that information that connects you to the church. So, for example, say if at the county or the state level, whatever, however they do it, where you are, you're going for a property tax exemption. You apply for that. They're like, "Oh, what church are you connected to?" So, um, um, I have prepared that. Not I. Alan helped a lot. Alan did most of it, but now I'm going to make them more generic and you know built in sort of a systematic way to get them, you know, and ultimately a minister course. We're gonna, yeah, you're a minister. You could go out there and minister to people. So and give you that knowledge base so that you can do it. Because it really, this whole trust thing is, it's a Christian hack, so it has to be tied to, oh, Christian, okay. Well, where's the authority? For what church are you affiliated? So you see how that works. Uh, it was a short, Frank. What was a short? I don't know what you mean by short. Let's see what else I have listed here. Uh, the Amex 44,000. John McCaig Trust. Christian Point Trust is not mine. That's the Poe family's trust, where they have real estate. And that's not a trust I'm affiliated with. The Amex was John McCaig Trust. That's what got that 44,000. That's Alan's trust, the Christian Point Trust. That's correct. Yeah, Alan and his family. Yeah, they're all on that trust. So yeah, and put it in the affiliation with Jesus Christ Trust. That's the church we're affiliated. That's why this is a parsonage, all that stuff. So we did that work successfully. Now I'm just working on organizing it into the Jesus Christ Trust website. It takes time, got to get the graphics and the theme and stuff, and I'm trying to make it more interesting and fun, which it will be. Uh, and useful, more useful too. So I'm going to say that's one thing that I've been really working heavily on, and this next month should see a lot of movement on that. It's getting closer even today. I'm sort of I'm in the initial redesign phase, so it just takes a while for it to coalesce. Sorry, I make notes for what to put in this show during the month. So I'm looking at my notes, what to go over. Had another interesting thought. You looked into the scam cities in or where are they? Myanmar and Thailand and Cambodia. You ever looked into the scam cities? Uh, Pretty fascinating. There's cities of that have slaves that they lured people from other countries for a job where they just put them to work in a city, that's basically a prison, and uh, gets them on the phone and the internet every day with quotas and stuff to act like, some thirst trap out there and then steal your money through a fake crypto scam. Entire cities have been built of, and I'm talking like 150,000 to 200,000 people in one city, and it's right next to China's border. So it's all Chinese run, and so oh, we can't do this in China, so let's just go over there, and there's a military government or whatever. We're going to sub our compound, pay you off, and they are billions of dollars. These cities, and they're just enslavement camps. So it's pretty fascinating what's going on out there once you look into it. It's just not enough money in helping people. Unfortunately, it'd be great to do a reverse scam city where it's like, no, everybody can live here. Let's get everyone in trust. It doesn't work, because they're taking, they could take a couple 100,000 from someone. They identify as someone, and they take basically all their wealth. Oh, I love you. Uh, Look at how much money we're making on this. They put them on a fake. Uh, it looks like a portal and a crypto, uh, exchange and stuff, but it's just fake. And so they start to see their money go up, and they put more money into this stuff, and then they're like, "Oh, I need to get some money out." And they go to do that. It's like, "Oh, I can't get any money out. What's happening?" It's like, "Wait, where'd you go?" You know what I'm saying? And they just disappear and they take all the money. So pretty clever. Entire cities are being have are existing, and if you look at them, these scam cities all are building. They're like giant. They don't live in skyscrapers. They live in like, you know 4-story giant, blockhouse type dormitory places where it's like prison, buildings, where you do this, and if you don't do it, you get beaten. If you meet your quota, you can here's your cigarette or whatever. It's kind of incredible that they're able to get away with just direct, you know, slavery. They get them lured into like a Thai, meet us in Thailand, and we'll interview you, and if it looks good, we'll drive you to the headquarters, and we'll get you started. And do you know where the border is in Thailand? I don't. And they just drive across the border, and there's a whole city there. And okay, give us all your everything. You now live here, and you're a slave. Get to work, or we're gonna beat you. It's just entire cities out there stealing people's money. Not stealing all of the West, so they do it. Steal from Americans and from Europe, and so on. They steal a lot from China too. It's just fascinating that the lack of ethics involved in the whole process is really mind-boggling over there. A complete lack of morals, ethics, or any of that stuff. So when you look all at what's going on out there, it's pretty incredible what's making a lot of money. So I just didn't know if you heard of that, and I thought I'd bring that up because it's kind of shocking. Just no more questions on your end in particular. Okay. Yeah, I recently had a client. I looked through my notes. I recently had a client because what I've been telling people to do over many years, not just telling people, "Hey, this is how you can make money." I've been doing it myself, right? Become an expert is something, and then over time, be the real best expert at that, and save your proof as you go, and then help people. Uh, yeah, I help people with information, which is non-physical product. It's not a physical product. It's a product. And it's a service because I back it up. Hey, I'm here. I have a service too. Serving you is answering questions like this. So, but I recently had a client that was let's see, not but had a resale business, and each item was unique. So it's like impossible to make money at that business, and I told him it was going to be impossible to make money, and it is. Uh, it's a nice hobby or way to get rid of things that you have or something like that, an adjunct to a hobby, reselling. But it's really because there's so much information, you have to upload all your product, and other people have that product. It's not really a service, Like there's just no way that you can make money on that, because our opposition out there, like, the other team, they get all this stuff for free. So they're like, whatever. If I sell it, I make some money. Great. So they try to sell it for pretty much, you know, near top dollar or whatever. They just get paid out for the product and that's it. They always have everything for free. They don't pay bills and stuff. They get products for free. So, and that's the issue. How you going to have resale business of, you know, products when they get them all for free? How are you going to manage, you know, that kind of competition? You can't. So it's really got to be about a service or combination. I'm a plumber. Yeah, you sell pipes, but you put them together and that's the service. So, that kind of way to handle things is great. Uh, but eventually the idea is to get to selling expertise, and this client had helped out a lot of people with their websites over the years. And she was doing resale, and she finally got the idea. Oh, I'm going to help people with what I'm doing on the side over here, which she's has an art degree and is an artist and all this stuff, and is really great at what she does. Practical website upgrades to look better, function better, and all that stuff. And she's now focused on that in her work, and then she's going to start to develop products like, hey, how to build a great website. And so here are the principles of. So now that she's moving into that direction, she can have more like an information business, which is a non-physical product, and a service, which is non-physical product, helping people with that. Oh, okay, you got to get your business. How do I tie all that together with a website? And what else do I need? What do I need? A social media presence? A lot of businesses that don't need to know how to do that. She's great at that. So there's a lot of expertise involved. There's a lot of principles involved. There's a lot of principles of art. You need to, your eye looks this way. It has to see it. She knows all that stuff. So selling that as expertise is super valuable to people. Uh, I've had her help me in the past, so I was like, man, that's a great idea because it took her a lot of years to get away from the resale idea. I kept saying it's It's not going to work. It's no good for that reason. So, but I'm using it as an example and myself as an example of an account. What would be useful? How about getting out of taxes completely? You see what I'm saying? So, and when I started with my work, I was, I didn't charge much. And I didn't have as much information as I do now at a school and stuff like that. I was like, you know, what the information? PayPal me a donation about it. I'll send it to you. If you need to know how to do it, email me at this. It's just you can start off in a very basic way and then upgrade over time your expertise to, you know, be what you focus on. Oh, I need a website, a presence. I need Facebook. I need YouTube. And, I need the basics out there. So, I think it was good to see her move. You know, she has a trust, of course, and she's, now working on repeatable products. This is like something like, hey, here's who knows what the name of her products are going to be and stuff. I know, but what if it was something like, the 10 most important things for a website, if whatever your business is, and then sort of give that way as a hook, uh, maybe a public video and stuff. It's like, get the whole course here, something like that. And ultimately get, you know, uh, a combination of, oh, here's basic products that people need and so on, but also clients, a combination of them. So I'm just using that as an example of what I've done. Because you want to, at some point, you want to get out of the product business as far as physical product because they control all of that, and it's all free to them. All physical product, houses, land, they got it all for free. How are you going to resell stuff like that and make money on it if they got it all for free? They already got most of the wealth out of it. You see, they got it for free, then they sold it. That's everything. Reselling it, there's not much in there. You see, whatever it is, even if it's real estate, because you're competing with so many other real estate agents. So it's really, you know, I've talked about this in the mentor thing a lot. Like you making money at what you really are great at, want to be focused at every day. I want to say love, but or at least passionate about. I want to get up every day and do this. Like I help people with the trust and this stuff. I get up every day wanting to do that. It's successful. I change people's lives. So, and whatever it's about, whatever you're passionate about. I love fishing. Okay, well, it can be fishing. This is the 10 most, these are the 10 things you need in a tackle box if you're a saltwater fisherman, and then if you're a freshwater, you can become an online guide. And there's just so many ways, you could say that about boats. You could say that about whatever your interest or passion is. You could be over there on the internet helping people, really helping people in whatever you find an interest in or focus on. So I've talked about this in past mentor programs, and this one online, not super heavily, but some. And I think it's really important. If I were to have a website, I was actually going to make money off of it. I would set it up the way I do now. Ultimately, maybe not instantly, but if it is something that I want to make money at this, I would use Shopify because they're really great. That's a great product. They cost money every month, but you get what you pay for. It's just there's a flat fee, and it's like 100 and some dollars. I would say 150 or something every month, and then if you need more products and more services, they have a higher fee monthly, like where you grow your business and so on. You're working towards just that, Frank. Okay. Appreciate your system is a do-it-yourself type program. Good. Yeah, with expert answers. That's what I'm saying. That's a good way to put it. You see, that's ultimately what everyone should be doing because there's just so much information out there. You really need to, I want to get this done. I need to get this done. Well, you need to get something done. You're like, well, I'll pay for expertise and I'll get it done, Or I really want to focus on this. I need to do this. it's good to get an expert's advice. I'm going to go fishing, and I'm not, but I'm just saying, I'm going to go fishing for a month in Florida, on the Gulf Coast. I've never fished there before. Let me see if there's some expert or something like that. Whatever. There's so many. I want to start this business. Say you're an expert in it, and you got proof. You help people and so on. If you're a website builder, if you doesn't matter what it is. Uh, you take it on, you save your proof, you do it every day, and you grow your clientele, and you grow your testimonials, and that's the way it happens. Besides that, I wear many hats as a do-it-yourselfer, no doubt, no doubt. Uh, it's ultimately something that you sort of I would say focus in an area or something like that, but you're in America, so that's an area. Uh, but really, if you become expert at one particular thing in an area that people really need that information, people will pay you for it. So if you really know what you're doing, and you will because you're an expert. That's what I do every day, so I know it. GD, you both, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So it's good to be like, what do Gina and I want to focus on as our main product, our main focus. You know what I mean? Uh, so that's one way to look at it. What you want to spend your time on, because you have to be passionate about it. The way I am, 24/7, year after year after year, I'm doing the same thing. So you have to come to it uh, from the point of passion, like, oh, I want to do this. You know what I mean? Not for a month, not for a day, but this is what I've been doing with my time anyway on the side forever. So why wouldn't you do what you're an expert in? That would just allow you to, focus on that with your time and energy and so on. There are a lot of free ways to get started with doing anything, right? Uh, YouTube, Facebook, and free pay percentage of the payment gateway like PayPal or Stripe or something like that is an easy way to get started. You just build a presence, and then, kind of the website comes after that. After you've built up your following and presence and helped a few people to show what you're up to and so on, then you can start, okay, this is what people respond to. Because then okay, people responded to this video. I did this and went viral. Did this and nobody even cared. Uh, so you're out there doing market analysis with your opening stuff, fixing it, changing it, getting it better. So when it's finally functioning, it's working. Then, oh, let's build a website, and then it'll be useful. And then it's like, okay, we got it all done. I can't believe we're actually functioning. We're making more money than we put out every month. So then you start with a checklist, like, okay, we still need to fix some things here. And you make a list. Number one, we need to fix this. Number two, that. Number three, this, and so on. And you just add it every day. The list never goes away. You're just always making a new list of, this would be great if we had this together. Uh, so that's the way to do it. Is the sooner you start, the better. And people always seem to make this mistake, even though I tell them not to, of doing resale of something like that, or products that just everyone's already doing, or you're reselling something. It doesn't. There's no uh, customization, or this is how you make this your hobby or something like that. You really have to go into it deep and help people with all the things and show them up front. Hey, this is how I hacked this thing. What? They'd be like, what? That's incredible. No one ever did that. What? So and people would want to become engaged in what you're doing, live videos. Hey, if it's a fishing expert, you go fishing. This is my results. Here's the fish. This is where I caught it. Da da da. Oh, the more information you put out there, the more people are interested. What? That's where you caught that thing? Well, that's great. I'm going down there next time. I live in the area. I travel there to fish. Uh, fishing, whatever. I used to fish when I was young. I don't anymore, but I see how many people are doing it. I live by the beach, just like, look at you all go. Wow, that's a lot of money on gear that saltwater is eating up. Uh, a lot and a lot of focus and time, and especially if you include boats and docks and living on the water, it's like, man, that's so much. That's billions and hundreds of billions of dollars. What? That's crazy. So, pick an area, pick a market, pick where you are. This makes sense to me. I can make great videos on this here. Like, you don't want to get, hey, I'm going to become a skiing expert, and you live in Florida. That would be like, that's not going to work. you know, but you're in Switzerland. I live in the Alps, in Alp City over here. You get into something that was about that, watches or chocolate or skiing or something. Accept where you are, what you're doing, and what you're passionate about. You're probably there for a reason. You're making the most of it wherever you are for the reasons of being there, and then become an expert in it because you're already focused on, oh my God, I love to do this. Like, I got my electric bike and I got 2,000 miles on it. I've only had it for, 6 months, but not even. Uh, let's see, I ordered it in July. It took 4 months. August, September, October, November. So not that many. December, January, February. Yeah, like that's almost 500 miles a month. So like that thing's great. I don't put out a whole bunch of videos. I don't have a setup for doing all that and everything. It's good for me to take a break and get around here. The snowbirds around it can be just horrible on the streets, but there are a lot of ways to get around on sidewalks and bike trails and stuff to get to many places that are great to go. They can't even get to easily with the car. So, state parks and lakes and things like that. So that would be like, oh man, I love electric bikes, and this is what I would do. And if it's not your product per se, you know what I'm saying. If you're an evaluator to get free bikes and so on, I'm just saying there could be so many things. You can have a bike shop, an online one. Even though that's resale of other stuff, it's really more about you're an expert in it. You could have basically drop ship it. You know what I mean? I'll represent your product on my website, but you're not paying for it or anything like that. And you're not even shipping it. You're not even housing it. You're just an expert and you put it up on your website. Okay, great. So that's a really handy product. It's more like a drop shipping or representative. Or if you buy it with my coupon code, I get something for making this video. Those kind of things. There are just so many different things you could add on to what you're doing over time once you decide this is the area of expertise that I'm going to be in. And then you just get better at it over time. Uh, and you make it more engaging for the people that are watching. Like Pakistani Truck Channel. I watch that. Those guys are unbelievable. They'll be like, get this. They'll take a truck apart, every nut and bolt and everything, like everything. And oh, this one got wrecked, and they'll just redo the metal and it's incredible. It's just like they're not even selling anything. They get so many millions of views watching that stuff, but they could be selling. They could. They could be like, this is our location in Pakistan, but they, a lot of people watch that all over the world. Obviously, we're not going to get the views like they get. Obviously, you're not going to get millions of views. You're not going to get all this. That stuff happens only to them. But if you become really super expert at what you do, you can, handle a niche and really help people and over time get better. I'm living proof of that. So, and I hope my example about, reselling and this one client, I hope that helps too. Focus on one area and get great at it, whatever you're great at, and whatever you're passionate about, whatever you'd be like, I'm psyched to do that every day. You know what I mean? She's psyched because she's an artist. I'm an artist. I get to, put together all this stuff for people. It turns out better. They're super happy. I got paid, and they're mainly putting out concepts and stuff a lot of times for other people to do. If you're a designer, you're not making or producing every outcome. So, anyway, I know people are learning this information and they're like, how do I apply this all together and make money on a daily basis? You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to tell you. I got all these financial hacks. You use them all, and that allows you, oh, I can now focus on my passion, right? Because you cut out all of the waste in your life. So now you're like, I'm just going to do what I love to do. I'm going to help people do it. You follow? Boat, hole in the water to throw money in. Exactly. So who are they throwing the money to? Do you follow? Someone who's passionate about what they do. They have the boats. The boats exist. They're making more boats. The water's there. The houses are on the water. All the docks, all the people fishing, they're all doing it. Exactly. And that's where they're throwing the money. So they're not stopping throwing the money. You see my point? You could do videos how to do the simple stuff. Exactly. This is the product I recommend. And you can have that on your website. You could drop ship it or whatever. Uh, there are you could handle physical product if it's like a niche thing. Like there's this what's this business called Westy. It does Westphalia, VW bus stuff. Some products it gets from other places, some products it creates, uh, or has created for them and it sells them. And it also has a servicing center. Oh, we can put that on there for you. It also has a bunch of videos and how to's and stuff like that. So, uh, that's just an example, like your boat thing I was talking about, they have Westphalia's covered. That's their niche. Westie, you want something, you go to them. And they have a bunch of people working there in a warehouse and help people every day and answer the phone. And they've been doing it for many, many years. So that's obviously an individual's passion. And they gather some other individuals who are now employees or whatever. And, they make that happen. So another example of taking a passion, checking a niche. You can handle product, but you see it's product no one else has for the most part. So let me assemble that all together. You just stop by, hit that, and boom. Jay, all right. Sorry I was late, Jay, but that's my bad. Uh, good to have you. So yeah, question. Good, Jay. I'm here for questions, please. I went over a few basic things and kind of brought us up to date. So yeah, no problem, man. Take a second. But I hope Frank and Gina, I hope that, you know, focuses on how you could do this work. Someone asked me not that long ago, oh, I gotta wear so many hats, I gotta do so many things, I wish I just knew what I wanted to do. It's like why I told him pray to God and get God's answer on that one. But it's really you take a look at the mirror, really. You're like, what are you passionate about? What do you want to spend your time on? What would you help people with every day? And that's what you do because that's what you want to do. That they'll be like, hey, I woke up today. I want to do this. This is great. Oh my God. Westphalia's again today. I love these fans. You know what I mean? Oh, we fixed this product that works perfectly. It solves this whole Westphalia problem. Everyone's going to be psyched, you know? like that. If that's what you love to do, well, nothing wrong with Westphalias. They're great. I love them. Probably best car ever made. Uh, but it's just an example, you know. Feels like a personal consultation. That's why I do these YouTube, because my personal consultation time is too much money, and then I'm able to really handle a personal consultation like this. But then this can be seen by others, which helps them. Oh, I understand now. In that situation, I can apply it to me. Yes. So yeah, it's like how to discount a personal consultation, but also make it useful for others by making it a safe part of the mentorship program. Yes, that's what I'm trying to do with this. Yes. I have not got the Paydex score, and it was my fault. Ah, started in October, but did not give the DUNS number to a bunch of accounts. That's okay. Basically, when you start getting accounts, eventually a DUNS number is created. That's the way it happens. That's normal. Last week, I figured it out. I was calling companies to try and get it recorded and buy another item. Oh, okay. That's good. So DUNS number is created over time, regardless, as long as you're using that entity. You don't have to call them and ask them, but and that's kind of what happened with my nav portal, right? It was like connect to Dun and Bradstreet, but that thing wasn't there for months until I made a bunch of accounts reported stuff. And Dun and Bradstreet was like, "Oh, hey, there's financial activity on this." And then they created a DUNS number. And then I was like, "Look at you, you're connected. Here we go." So it does take time for it to connect like that. And it requires you starting accounts and making a profile for DUNS number to automatically be created. That's true. Frustrating to wait? Yeah, no, not. That's why I say start early. That's why I've always said start this early, because everyone's frustrated at waiting. So you just get started now and just accept how long it takes. And just, it's not that much work every month or anything like that. It's just you got to do it so that it, what you're waiting. It's a waiting game for someone. But with the reports, then it's like, oh yeah, Amex, like, send me another email. I put it up this week. I talked about it already, but $44,000 credit limit, which it wasn't doing more spending on that credit card. It was just longer, good, business credit profile for that trust. And okay, he's still using the card, so they just, uh, did it again. Actually, after they just did it a few months ago, they've done this two or three times automatic. Credit limit increase on this particular credit card that I use for, does have significant spend on it. I pay for the advertising for Liberty and Academy. So, but it's a combination of the excellent credit profile for the trust and the use of the card. It wasn't more use or more spend. No, it's just actually time going by and those two things, some spend on the credit card, and hey, great credit profile. And when time happens, they're like, oh, here has some higher credit limit. You know, I mean, I still every single day, at least once a day, get a text from someone. You know, hey, do you want? We have always the same exact thing. We have 250K for your business. Just get in touch with us now. That's Christian Ministries Trust had the same phone number or whatever. I built another credit profile with this uh, phone number. It's like, oh my god, every day. So you could keep building and building, and eventually they're getting in touch with you instead of you getting in touch with them. If you have Amex Business Card for the trust, can you apply for another Amex card? Of course, yeah, I got a bunch of them. Or is it better to ask for a credit increase? I don't. What I'm trying to say, no. What I'm trying to say is credit limit increases happen automatically if you're building a credit profile. So, you know, maybe another card. Amex doesn't have that many useful cards. Let's say the Blue Business Plus or the Blue Business Cash are the best. And then their specific was, like for online advertising, like the gold card is great for that, even though that's a charge card, not a credit card. Uh, really great points if you're doing significant online spend for advertising. But 2% back is cool too, or whatever on the Blue Business Plus or Blue Business Cash. So those are your main two ones you can get from Amex, really. Anyway, the rest of them you're not really going to use that much. Airline cards or hotel cards, what? You know, yeah, you could build them up into, hey, I got decent credit over there in case you're going to bust it. But as far as usefulness, not that many. So wait for the automatic credit limit things, or apply for increased credit over after 3 months and getting everything right and the credit profile right and all that stuff. Don't ask ever for credit limit increase past like 20,000, because they might ask for paperwork. That's why I say build the profile correctly, have and be using it, and they do the credit limit increases automatically. That's the way higher that you would be able to ask for. So, okay. The card Amex gave you was 10 grand for the trust. Not bad. Good start. Okay, so build that credit profile and put some spend on it and that kind of stuff, and then ask for credit limit increase. Wait a few months, and they're like, "Oh, hey, you use it, great." Then they go, "Can I get more?" They don't do a hard pull, but don't go above 20. Ask it, because they'll be like, "Okay, show us the paperwork." Okay, yeah, good with Jay indeed. Good with Jay indeed. If, okay. All right. I hope that was some valuable advice. What else we got? Good. The biggest hurdle is trying to get a Chase card, no doubt. So when they got a checking account, good. Apply for aid with a credit score, and they never answered. That's what I say. Build a credit profile and stuff too, and get a checking account. Uh, it takes time. Eventually, with Chase, you want to and go in your portal in Chase, and they have like My Chase, and you go in there, and they'll recommend once you have the right profile and stuff, they'll start wanting to give you cards, and you look at, oh, what products do you want to give me, and you look in there, and that'll come up. Checking account's a good start. That's is super important, and I would go for a Freedom or a Freedom Flex card for your person first for them, you know, so you get in with them enough, and then go for the Trust credit card after. I would start with your checking account, personal credit card, and then get up to doing that after. Good. For the personal first. Okay, good, good, good. You called and they denied. Yeah, but after a while, they're not gonna. You see what I'm saying? Also, another hack is once you get your checking account open, you go in and you sit with them. Like, go into their actual location and be like, "Hey, am I approved for any credit cards?" They can pull it up and see if you're approved, and no hard pull or anything. Can you just check to see if I'm approved? I'll get one if I am. And so that's another way they can look in the back door, and their manager can say, "Oh, hey, you could get this one." You're like, "Yeah, should I get it?" Then you'll get a hard pull. But just for them to see if you're pre-approved, it's like, well, let me see if we're pre-approved. Not sure you're gonna get it, but if you're pre-approved, you probably get it. So you did go to the bank, and the lady said it looked good. So, but have the checking account for a while, at least 30 days or whatever. Build the credit profile that you're looking to get the trust. And if you have an 800 credit score and they're not giving you a credit card, do you have a past problem with Chase where you didn't pay them for a credit card? That could be it. Or do you have a thin credit profile, just a high number with a thin file? They're going to be like, you don't have enough credit out there. We're not going to lend to you. So you want to have at least like 3 to 5 credit cards already for Chase to, want you. I said my Persia made 485K. No, you didn't go too high. No, keep it consistent. Keep it consistent. No, no, no. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Only 2 cards as of now. That's why you have a thin credit profile. They won't. You need at least 3 to 5. Yeah, that's why. That makes sense. 800 credit score ain't no good unless you get 3 to 5 accounts. But because of the 524 rule, well, if you got less than what? If you only got 2 cards, you mean from that you can't be the 524 because you only got 2 cards. Chase is the best one to get. If you get Chase, you can get anyone, basically. So you're always, in the beginning, you're working towards getting Chase. Oh, I got Chase. Then you can back off of them. You see to say, hey, let me get Chase business. Okay. So you want to pace this out. You have 3. Well, you can't be the 524 rule. You have 5 accounts in what, less than 2 years or something? So you have 3. So, sometimes you break the 524 rule just to get enough accounts. You got 3. Like I said, 3 to 5. So I would go back in. I don't know what credit cards do you have? What are those 3? And the credit limits. So you got to improve them. I would ask for credit limit increases on the ones you have, maybe. Only one that Chase is in the last 2 years. Well, what? See, that's kind of a thin file to them, okay? You have one Chase credit card. You have a Chase credit card? Is what you're saying already? Do you? Personal? What is it? Say, I have a Chase credit card. It has this credit limit. Oh, you don't? Okay. Or you only have one account. The Chase the last year. I don't know. Okay. Wells Fargo personal AT. Okay, that's good. See, you want to get something else like Amex. Do you have a personal Amex? Amex. Okay. Okay. So you need another. I would get another one, a third one, and then Chase is going to be okay. You're good. The other was only 1,500. What is the only $1,500 one? What is that? Because that would maybe you would ask for a credit limit increase. Just to improve the situation generally. Credit what? That's your anchor. Yeah, that's you shouldn't have that anymore. You should get rid of that after you get, they say, 2 other accounts. And I like what you did. Chase and Wells Fargo are big banks. Okay, the big banks like you. Great. Did I say Chase? I didn't mean to say Chase. Amex or Wells Fargo are good ones. I wouldn't get another card from them, though Amex is really easy. I would think about another bank or credit card company and get one of them. Get another. Oh, okay, got a third one. High credit limit, great. Then I think Chase is going to be more interested in you to do that. Okay. Don't toss the credit away yet until you get Chase, but then I would toss it. After you get Chase, I'd toss it. I just dump it. It's not going to look good after it's already hurt you. So people are, oh, I understand you got to have one crappy one. That's how you got in the game, but now you have 2 other good ones. Go for a third really good one. Like, could be somewhere you bank now. If you have another place you bank besides Wells Fargo, then I would get a credit. It's Chase, right? Okay. So that's why you went there. Then I would look for another big credit card company, like, yeah, Chase. Okay, that makes sense. So another big credit card company like Capital One, though, they're kind of lower tier, so maybe not them. Bank of America, U.S. Bank, those can be ones that give out credit. U.S. Bank gives credit for a trust. Bank of America doesn't. That's why I like U.S. Bank, because you get a U.S. Bank personal card of the day, you get your credit profile together for a trust U.S. Bank. You could get them if they're in your area to do that. That's one that's okay, not a very big bank, but big, and they could do it. So, Bank of America got one of those in town. Yeah, but they don't give one for the trust. So if you have a U.S. bank, okay, Bank of America can be okay for a credit card. You're just looking for a third credit card. They do give out credit cards. Would it be that hard to get with your profile? They would be fine. That's fine. U.S. Bank, if they're in your area, they also do it for the trust. So they don't report that trust credit card except for to the business. So they're good. So it headed in that direction. That's why you're not getting that chase, a thin file, they call it. You need at least another good one, maybe two. Uh, could be U.S. Bank and Bank of America, but ultimately at least one, and then I would go back into Chase again to the manager, and be like, "Oh, hey, I've had my credit. I'm sorry, I've had my bank account open for X months now. I thought I would check again and see, you know. I know you're not wanting to do hard pulls and stuff like that, so that's what I'm saying. Successfully get like Bank of America, U.S. Bank, Capital One, maybe. You know, I would get one of them first. Get it reporting. It's out there. Got paid a month, and then that's on the credit report. Chase will be more interested then in lending. Okay, that's good to go through all these details like that. Capital One is in town too. Oh, that's cool. Uh, so they're only useful as a credit card. They don't give super high credit limits. They just don't. So I like Bank of America better for that reason. I like U.S. Bank next. You know, higher credit limits, but they get into the trust. So U.S. Bank would be who would go to first, then Bank of America, then Capital One. But any of them will do the job. You need a third credit card. You need one. You have a thin file. So any of them or two of them would do the job. Go get the job done. Looking good to Chase. Hallelujah. Put the crown on your head. You're good to go. There you go out there, bill for the trust or LLC, what have you, like that. Okay. Yeah, no, that's what I'm here for, man. Don't try everything. Let me know what's going on. Even take the time to write it up in the classroom. Hey, this is what I got going on. Shoot me photos or what you. This is on my credit report. So, dude, I can unlock this in a minute, like now, right? Seriously, you could not figure it out. It needed to tap out. Yeah, that's why I'm tap out. Yeah, let me know what. This is how you get their money. That's what I'm all about. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's sometimes it's good to try and unlock that puzzle. You see where the what do I do? You know what I mean? And I give you the answer, a couple of answers. You can see, oh yeah, that makes sense. But from now on, just be like, what do I do next? You know what I mean? Like, let's just get you there. Whoosh. So, but that's a common thing, with the best creditor. Chase wants to see that you don't have a thin file, that 3 to 5 accounts. Okay, they're all reporting you paid them all. Yeah, come on in here. Chase wants you. So, yeah, no, good question. Good series of questions. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. I will run through that this month, right? Oh, hey, speaking of this month, let's look at what we're going to do this next. My apologies for getting on this late, and thank Frank for messaging me. Hey, you forgot your thing, so I got over here and did it. So Frank, way to go. It's going to be May 26th. May 26th. May 26th is going to be the next time. Okay, May 26th at noon. And I'll put it up there. So it'll be there. It'll pop up and remind you. Okay, I try to make it useful. What else we got? You think that the 30 days after I get that third card, I could go back to Chase after reports as being paid successfully, not just 30 days. You follow me? But you got the card and it reported and was paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you made a payment. Not just, hey, this is the bill, but hey, it got paid down. Great. You had a bill, you had a balance, and then next month there's no balance. Then I would do it. You follow me? Okay. Because it's like, oh, hey, you used the card and paid it. Okay. That's what I would do. So it's going to take 1 month to report as soon as you get it. Then it got paid. That's the next month. Then Chase is going to be like, oh, let's take a look. By Al, right? The demon algorithm, the algorithm says you're in. And I'm hoping my flight tonight. So fantastic. I look forward to seeing it, Jay. A lot of good people coming. It'll be great. All right, everyone. May 26th at noon. Big weight off your shoulders. No, no problem. What? That's what I'm here for. Come on, we're just unlocking stuff. I already done it multiple times. Let me get you through the loopholes. Come on, you're next. Get in the loophole. There you go. Jay, get in the foxhole. Get in the loophole. No, fantastic. Just ask me these things in the classroom or in here or whatever. I'm happy you showed up. Sorry it was late. Glad we got it done. Okay, everyone. Thanks for being here, Frank and Gina, Jay, and everyone who's going to watch this later. Fantastic. I'll see you next time for last Monday, May 26th at noon. I'll put it on my calendar instead of in my phone calendar instead of just here, so I will be there on time. You're having too much fun riding your bike. No, I wasn't, but I was doing other work. But yeah, but I will be soon. Having too much fun. Probably go down to the beach. All right, everyone. Until next month. Yeah, Jay, get it done. Let's hear about your success. So they'd be like, got my Chase card. What's up, homies? All right. Yeah, God bless you, Jay Bob. Praise Jesus Christ. Frank and Gina, Jay. Until next month, and maybe this week, Jay. All right. God bless you.